Aristotle wrote two big books called the Ethics and the Politics. They teach us how people should act, how we learn to be good, and how society helps us live happily together. He says a good life comes from using our minds and hearts well, learning good habits by doing good actions again and again, and balancing feelings and actions so we are not too much or too little in anything. He calls this the doctrine of the mean. Happiness is our biggest goal, but it isn't just fun or money. It is growing our talents, being kind, and thinking deeply. The best life mixes wise thinking with noble actions, and the city helps people reach it through laws and teaching. Aristotle explains that every art and job aims for a goal, and the highest good for humans is living with reason and virtue over a whole life. We must choose our actions wisely, especially the ones that come from thinking through the steps we can do. Moral choice is different from feelings and quick anger. It is about picking fair things we can actually do to reach what is good. When we act, we can be forced, we can be ignorant, or we can choose on purpose. Understanding this helps judges and teachers decide when to praise or correct someone. He also talks about virtues like courage, self-control, and being generous, truthful, and calm. Courage means facing danger for the right reasons, not just wanting praise. Self-control means steering our desires toward reason and not giving in to every pleasure. Being generous, truthful, fair, and keeping anger at the right level all come from good habits. Justice is the biggest virtue because it looks after others, sharing fairly and correcting what is wrong. There are many kinds of fairness: giving the right share, trading honestly, and fixing hurts. Money and trade help people agree, but justice makes sure no one takes too much or gets hurt on purpose. Even when laws are too strict, we need equity, a kind fairness that adjusts the rules for each case. Aristotle wants us to keep asking questions, practice good habits, and use reason so everyone can live well together. People should live in the middle, avoiding too much or too little, because right reason shows the best way to act. Our soul has two thinking sides, one that understands unchanging truths and another that plans and makes choices about changing things. Each part does best when it follows its excellence, or its job done well. The rational parts steer our will and desire, so the soul makes moral choices only when reason and healthy habits work together. Reason thinks, and self-control makes us act with right reason. Learning uses different kinds of knowledge. Some truths never change and can be taught through examples and logic. Other truths are about making and doing things that change. They need skills and planning. Art is making something. Practical wisdom helps us plan good actions to live well. Practical wisdom is a special kind of excellence, thinking clearly about what is good for people, even when pleasure or pain tries to trick us. It needs both rules and real-world facts and works best with good habits. Science is the exact knowledge of big principles and how things follow from them. Intuition sees the big first ideas that can't be proved but are true. Practical wisdom, cleverness, good counsel, fair judgment, and intuition work together to help us make the right decisions in tough cases. They all aim for good ends, not just what sounds right or feels good in the moment. We cannot change the past, but we can choose what to do next. That's why people plan for the future and rely on good habits. Doing the right thing isn't enough unless we choose it for a good reason. Virtue needs reason and practical wisdom. Good people need both to be truly moral, and practical wisdom keeps all the virtues working together. We talked about self-control too. When people know what is right but strong wants make them act wrong, that is weak self-control. Self-control means following reason even when pleasure or anger tries to take over. People need training early on to build good habits, since most people obey rules out of fear or reward, not because they understand the good. Pleasure and pain influence our choices. Some pleasures are good, especially when they come from doing something noble or good. Others, especially when they come from poor habits or unhealthy urges, can hurt us. Pleasure is not a movement. It's what happens when our powers work well with good objects.
Bad pleasures only seem good to bad people. True pleasures help us do our best work. Everyone wants to be happy, but happiness isn't just eating or playing.
Happiness is living well with self-control, doing good deeds, thinking noble thoughts, and being self-sufficient. The highest happiness comes from using our mind, especially thinking about big, true things. That is why wise people and thinkers are closest to happiness. Thinking is restful, needs less help from outside, and is like how gods live. But practical virtues like justice, courage, and temperance are also good and proper to human life. They need outside goods more than thinking does. Friendship is another great good. People need friends for help, comfort, and learning what's right. Friends wish each other well, share, help in hard times, and enjoy good deeds together. There are friendships based on usefulness, pleasure, or goodness. The best friendships are between good people who stay loyal, even when things are hard. Good friends help each other grow, forgive, and keep promises. Friends also need fairness. Stronger friends should help more, and weaker ones should respect. True friendship is rare and takes time. We must learn to love ourselves in the right way, by doing noble, kind, and just things. Self-love can be good when it follows reason. Happy people need friends even if they seem to have everything. But friends should be few and true, because close friendship takes time and trust. Education, laws, and habits guide people toward goodness. Most people obey laws and punishments more easily than reason alone. So the best rulers and parents make laws that teach virtue, guide pleasure, and punish wrongdoing. Training helps people choose good actions, just like medicine helps people stay healthy. Each person can help form good habits in their own family, while lawmakers should study what works in different countries to create strong, fair laws. Knowing laws matters, but practice, like doing government work, is essential too. We need to study past communities to learn which laws help people live happily and which ones lead to ruin. In short, living well means balancing pleasure and pain, guiding desires with reason, gaining knowledge, acting with practical wisdom, choosing good friends, loving yourself rightly, and building strong laws and habits. When all these parts work well together, people can be good and happy. The book talks about a special word that means three things: how people live together, learning to do what is right, and the laws and rules of the city. It says to judge well, we must know the skill or control ourselves. Good habits help us see what is true and do the right thing, like a child who learns to obey without long talks. Aristotle says the main happiness comes from using our minds, but only after we train our morals. He wants people to keep trying to be good, even though luck and tools help too. He believes people aren't born bad. They can learn to improve. He explains how people choose. First they wish for something, then think about it, decide, and finally act. Right actions need both good reasons and strong choices. Courage, justice, and other virtues grow through practice. For example, bravery means seeing danger clearly and wanting to face it for a good cause, while justice means giving others what is fair. He also praises practical wisdom, which includes planning, listening, judging, and looking at details. It helps people in their homes, cities, and with friends. Learning comes from seeing facts, talking with others, and practicing. Aristotle uses stories and examples from real life to show that happiness mixes thinking and good habits. He reminds us to follow reason, not just feelings, and to help others even when it's hard. True friendship and self-love grow when we learn to do what is right. In the end, we need rules, experience, and our mind that sees truth. By practicing again and again, we understand the big ideas and become happier and kinder people.